Alright guys, so this week we're going to do our lure review on another topwater bait. As you can see, I have the Lucky Craft Sammy. It's like a walk the dog style bait. This will make like the third or fourth week in a row that we've done a topwater bait, but 'tis the season. I'm getting into the topwater stuff in my area of the country, so wanted to start reviewing some of the topwater stuff. So let's go ahead and get into some of the details of this bait. Okay guys, so like I said, the Lucky Craft Sammy. If you're not already familiar with it, the Lucky Craft Sammy is just kind of like a spook walk the dog style topwater plug, like a stick bait. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There may even be more than that, but I'm seeing 5 here. They have a Lucky Craft 65, 85, 100, 115. And 128, with the 128 being the biggest. This is the Sammy 115. I was gonna go for the 100, but I already have the Super Spook Junior, so to cover that 100 size, so I went with the 115s, which have a length of 4.5 inches, and they have a weight of 5/8 of an ounce, and they have number 4 size hooks on them. The weight difference between the Sammy 100 and 85 are actually not very much different. The 85 being a half an ounce, 3 1/4 inches. The Sammy 100 being 4 inches and still a half an ounce, same as the 85, and then the 115 at 5/8 of an ounce. So just 1/8 of an ounce heavier than the other two. So it's really just a size difference. If you haven't fished with these or had a chance to fish with any Lucky Crafts for that matter, Lucky Craft, and this is just my opinion, but there is it's based on some facts, that the Lucky Crafts, they kind of just do most of like with these baits, like with the saltwater ones, or not the saltwater ones, but the Super Spook Junior. This is the saltwater one. This will do everything you want a topwater walk the dog style bait to do. Now the Lucky Craft one just does it that much better. Now whether or not it's in your price range to buy something that's as expensive as a Lucky Craft Sammy, I think these are like 15 or 16 bucks. You know, that's going to be up to the individual. And slam me if you want. I just like buying all kinds of different baits. I like trying everything. And the Lucky Craft Sammys, they're one of those that they'll help you if you're having a hard time walking like these style baits. If you're like right there on the cusp of being able to walk them, then try the Sammy style. You don't even necessarily have to try the Sammy. There's a lot of different bait companies out there that make this style of walk the dog plug, but this one, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this lure, this Lucky Craft Sammy, just walks on top of the surface of the water that much easier. So there's my 2 cents about the bait. So let's go ahead and look at some of the features of the bait. I have a little piece of tape here to help them stand up so you can look at them. As you can see right here, they say Sammy right on the bottom. The thing that I like about these, which is probably the most noticeable difference over the spooks, is this cupped mouth here. As you can see, if I can go ahead and focus on it for you, that cupped mouth there just helps it spit water that much better. It's not like a popper because it's going to be working like this on top of the water, and it really doesn't pop the water. It actually makes like a bubble when you're walking it. So it'll make a bubble like right in front of its face when you're walking it along top of the water. Now they seem to want to get up on plane much easier than the Super Spook Juniors. The Super Spook Juniors will walk every bit as good as these if you're seasoned in the technique of walking the dog. Now go ahead and I'll show you this color here because it's a little transparent again with the tape to help hold it up. Let's focus on it. Let's see. So you can see that we have a few ball bearings in here. Let's see if I can focus on those ball bearings. You have 2 right back here, and then you have another 2 right here. This bait It doesn't even really sit like this in the water. A lot of these top water plugs will sit raked like this in the water. This thing sits almost directly straight up in the water. So it's actually kind of neat when you're fishing with it because you feel like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with the color choices that you get. And my reason for saying that is that because it shows a lot of the body profile underwater, where some baits that are oriented like this when they're sitting static, they you don't see as much of the body underwater. Well, where this one actually sits like this, so you're actually seeing most of this bait underwater. So I feel like you're getting a fairly good presentation to the bass when it's actually sitting in the water, and it is so heavily weighted towards the rear. There's no weight transfer system in this at all. There are some plastic BBs in here. Looks like there's maybe 5 or 6 here in the head. So it is a rattling bait. It's not like the Super Spook Junior, where these, you can hear the difference. Like you have those bearings back there, and then you actually have the rattles in the front. So there is a difference between having the rattles and just those, but it does sit aggressively in the water. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys because that's something that you're not going to see on the shelf. They show it in the pictures, but the pictures are just an animation picture. But they do sit very aggressively in the water, meaning that they sit almost directly upright. But they actually have no problem getting on plane because of, I can only attribute it to the design of the lure with the flat back, but with this almost a U-shaped design that they have here. It just must help get it up on plane a lot easier. Lucky Craft, like all their Lucky Craft lures that they make, has these wonderful 3D eyes. They're some people might think a 3D eye is a 3D eye, and that's fine. But it's just that extra added detail that they put into their lure that they make their 3-dimensional eyes they actually look wonderful. So let's go ahead and go over some of the colors. You can see this one. I'm going to take that tape off. This one is probably the most popular color in the Lucky Craft lineup of any lure that they make. This is, if you haven't guessed it already, this is the Ghost Minnow color. The next color here is Ghost Chartreuse Shad. Just a color that I really like. I have them in the Pointers and the Stacy's, and I really enjoy this color. So it's a good just clear water or cloudy day type of lure. It's just good in a lot of different applications for me. So there's the Ghost Chartreuse Shad. And the next one here, another very, very popular color, is the Aurora Black color. Aurora Black has this very dark blue on the top and goes down into the foil pattern and down to this almost pearlescent belly. You can see with the Lucky Craft lures, the designs and the details. They have the etched scale pattern on them. They have the raised gill plates on them. The mouth, you can see the mouth on there. I'm not sure if I got this in the picture, but you can see the gills. And then there's your mouth. So it's just a little bit more detail. You don't necessarily need to pay that much money to get a walk the dog style bait, but if you're like me, I like having if I'm going to get a bait that works that much easier for me, then so be it. Let's go ahead and do it. And it's kind of like the Pointers. The Pointers, they dart that much easier, and that's the same with the Sammys. You can get the same exact job done with the Super Spook Junior. So go ahead and check these things out. Let me, before I forget, do my measurement here. The measurement is 4.5 inches with that ring on the back, and it's about 4 3/8 of an inch without the ring on the back. So it's a fairly big bait, but it's because I got the 115. It's a little bit bigger than the Super Spook Junior. There it is compared. side by side to each other. So it's a little bit bigger. This one's a 1/2 ounce. That one's 5/8. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. And like I said, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a giveaway here, contest pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a really easy one, and I'm probably going to give away a Spro Bronzeye Frog. I think I'm going to do it once I hit 100 subscribers. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys.